Hello everyone, as you probably know, Doran's bow has been buffed and honestly, Yone's ability to just chase people down is stronger than ever, so getting those solo kills is looking a lot easier than it used to be. However, I'm sure everyone dealt with things like the enemy choosing to not interact with you, simply farming, and you not being able to snowball as hard or carry as hard or 1v9 etc. because you are only up like 20 CS and 2 kills. Well, last video I talked about how to deal with this, but today I wanted to show you how to repeatedly kill the enemy laner again and again. While my team was doing well in these games, I'm sure it'll substantially raise your ability to carry since you are more fed even if your team wasn't doing so well. Anyways, thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, love you all. We are going to go over 2 games since one was only like 15 minutes. First up is against Aatrox. I'm taking Biscuit and Magical Footwear since I don't like to take Resolve against certain champions. Ignite as well since Aatrox players generally like to take that themselves. Interestingly enough though, this lane was won not through some insane mechanical outplay but simply because we were able to utilize the wave better. Level 1 against Aatrox, just be conscious of his Q range, and generally we want to try and get level 2 first if possible, but it's okay if you keep the wave even as well. But then you'll notice that this Aatrox is really non-interactive, so it seems like Aatrox is really scared of us and is probably wanting to keep the wave at his turret and wait for level 3 to chip away at us with Electrocute. However, we crash the wave and reset. Note here that as long as you crash before the next wave shows up, you are good to reset. However, don't shove too fast though, since idealistically, you want your wave to go under his turret, like the coming wave. This creates a perfect slow pushing wave towards us. In most cases, they won't hard shove and reset because the wave could easily be frozen upon, so generally, they will build a big wave like we did and reset after pushing it in. The amount of XP we missed is pretty minimal while being up 2 daggers when we came back to lane. The wave is also pushing into us, so Aatrox is forced to walk up. Yone almost always wins extended trades, so we've basically set up a perfect zone to be in. Once again, we are not touching the wave and holding a freeze. I predict that he would EQ, so I use my W to block it. With E coming back up, we do the same thing, this time killing him. You probably noticed that there was nothing mechanical about this kill at all. We first crash a big wave to get a 2 dagger lead, then freeze to force him to overstay, which led to his death. Afterwards, we shove the wave and reset. Notice here that Aatrox is clearing up the wave under his turret, so the same thing does not happen again. He even managed to take a nice short trade but agrees for an extra EQ, and we show him the power of Debo. Once again, we shove and reset, but unfortunately, he wasn't so lucky with the wave positioning this time. While I was waiting for the next wave to come to me, Aatrox goes for an EQ, so we instantly all in. Save E for his Q3 and we finish him off. If he goes for an EQ, you can always do this, but just make sure that the wave is long enough to kill him. Well, the lane is in a position long enough. I got away with it this time since I already had insane items. Look at this wave state. Does it look familiar at all? Here, I should have walked up and dragged wave, but it's okay. Dude has the balls to EW me, and knowing that he wants to Q me, just instantly ult after it pulls us. Poor Aatrox literally can't just turtle under his turret. Kane comes to help, but it's too late for that already. This strategy is great, but if they are in a diveable position, it's always fine to break the freeze. At this point, there's nothing he can do to save himself. Kane tries to get some orbs from me and he dies too because he didn't respect my items. Aatrox just dies for existing, so let's just move on to the next game. Game 2 against Garen. I'm sort of limit testing here because I'm not sure who really wins the 1v1 after Debo. So I just chase him after he uses Q on me. It was really close because Garen's Q was probably like 0 point something seconds off cooldown, but I noticed on the replay that I actually autoed the caster by accident, so maybe it's okay if you don't miss anything. After shoving the wave, does this remind you of the last game? Garen wants to just QE and get away before his W mitigation falls off, so if we can run him down, it's a free kill. That's generally the trading pattern. It's okay to give some CS to keep the waves as you like and play for kills. This continues on for a bit until he gave me a chance to get on him. As I'm waiting for the wave to crash, they once again go on me and die. This is funny because the whole point of me doing this is to bait him to walk up so I can go on them, but they are making things easier by engaging first, and mind you, these are master players. As it goes on, Aatrox breaks the freeze for him, and I even troll myself to death by queuing up followed by a grub fight where my ego told me I can 1v3 them, which honestly didn't make sense at all, but you know. But don't worry, Garen still wants to go on me for whatever reason. While I was getting plates, Aatrox comes again and I did get a bit lucky with the Q3 not killing me. We see Garen use W so we can get some damage under turret. Wait for him to use Q for CSing and then we can go in with E. Then Graves comes by to help us dive him, and after that I took his top tier too, and we go bot to continue splitting. Lissandra comes to assist Garen, and we can predict that she will ult as soon as we are done with E, so ult instantly to sort of cancel out the CC a little bit. I did die from Lissandra TP later on, which went over my head. And ultimately, I played with my team and helped them with objectives, and we end the game with Baron. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye bye.